For most woodworkers, a card scraper is pretty handy. But if you build guitars, a sharp card scraper can be one of the most powerful tools in your shop. We use scrapers to level braces, clean up glue lines, true up binding edges, refine curves, and even scrape the sides to the correct thickness in order to bend them. But none of that works unless your scraper is properly sharpened. And if your scraper is just making dust like this, it's time to sharpen it. What really makes a scraper cut so well is not a fine, precise edge like you'd find on a traditional cutting tool, such as a chisel or a plane. A well-sharpened scraper has a small burr or hook on the edge that we create by manipulating the metal on the face and edge of these corners. This is my method to sharpen a card scraper using a diamond stone into a tool that cuts cleanly and reliably. The first thing we're going to need is a burnishing tool. You can use a tool specific to burnishing like this one, or in a pinch you can use a tool with a round shaft like this one, and ideally it's harder than the steel on the scraper. If not, it'll work okay, but it'll scratch your tool up pretty badly and leave a lot of gouges on it. Imagine this is the end of your scraper. What we're doing is cleaning up these corners. So these corners are what are going to eventually have the burr or the hook on them. And right now, even a new scraper is going to be a little fuzzy on the corners. It's going to have some gunk on it. And an old one, especially if it's had an old burr and it's just dull, it's really going to have a bunch of stuff on the corner. That corner and this corner. And what we want to do is clean up these corners. And what we're doing with the burnisher is rubbing it on this face and making this corner smooth. And so we're actually pulling a little bit of material out onto here. This is of course very exaggerated, but we're pulling that material off on the end. You can do the short ends if you really want to, but I just use both of these long edges. We want to use the burnisher to flatten these corners out. You can just run it over the edge here until it feels smooth. It should only take a few passes. It'll go from rough to smooth really quickly. We get the other side. All right, that took care of it. Flip it. And the fourth corner. And then our next step is to clean up this very narrow edge of the scraper once each of these four corners is made flat on the face. There are two methods we can use to perform the next step of cleaning up the edges. The first and quickest method is to use a file to flatten the edge, and I gave that method its own video to avoid any confusion in this one. The second method is what we're covering today in this video. It takes just a couple more minutes than using a file. I use diamond plates to smooth and hone the scraper into a finer, smoother surface than a file can give you on this edge, which helps to create a really clean, precise corner. Most people don't have diamond plates, and that's totally fine. A file works great. I used a file this way for 20 years with excellent results. If you do have diamond plates though, spending a little extra time can give you better surface prep and make sanding just that much easier later on. Whether you're using a file or diamond plates, the goal is the same. What we want is to get a clean, smooth surface right at the edge so that we can form the cutting hook. The cleaner that edge is, the cleaner the hook will be, and the cleaner the hook, the better surface we're going to end up with. Water stones do not work very well for this. The surface area is so narrow and focused on these scrapers that they can form a hollow pretty quickly in the middle, And the corners of these scrapers tend to dig a hole in the water stones and just give them some pits and some gouges that we don't have happen with these diamond plates. I like to use at least 2 different grits. These are 400 and 1200, but you can go as high as you want to for a final grit, 3000, 4000, 8000. You can kind of go as crazy as you want to. Grab a bottle of soapy water or Windex. You don't want to use these on your water stones, but on these diamond plates, it's just fine. The additives in the Windex and the soap can clog up your water stones. It's not a great idea. And so now we are going to flatten all 4 edges. We're going to rub both faces of both sides to get the remainder of that burr off. And you'll feel it go from rough to smooth, and it will be relatively evident when you have that side fully cleaned up. I'll just wipe that off so I can see it. All right, those look pretty good. Once you have that with the lower grit, move to the higher grit. And here I've got 1200. And move to the other side. And the last corner, or face, I should say. All right, that's 4 sides that I've gotten, finished with the 1200. Now we're going back to the 400, and I'm going to flip this 90 degrees, and we need to hone each of these edges as flat as we can and hopefully get that nice and shiny. So we're going to do this edge and this edge at 400, then move it over to 1200. And you can freehand it and just use it on the plate like that, or you can square up a scrap, which I've done here. And I've also added this piece on the bottom. It's a piece, it's called Master Shield, made by Glue Boost, not sponsored. I'm in no way associated with them. This Master Shield, this plastic, is resistant to scraping and sanding, and I find it works particularly well on these stones. It gets abraded a little bit, not much. It doesn't gum up the stone, and it prevents the wood from getting chewed up and the wood from clogging this up. So I use this as a guide to keep that perpendicular. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. Just a little bit more. I see some scratches I still want to get out of there. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Move on to the other side. And I'll flip this around so I'm not using just one side of that plate. Pretty shiny all the way across. I see just a couple of spots that I want to get. Yeah, that's much better. Okay, now on to the 1200. Yeah, that's pretty good. I'll flip this over and flip this over, get the other side. we want to see a very, very clean edge. Make sure you inspect the scraper as you go along to verify that you're getting all of the scratches, dings, gouges, oxidation, all that stuff off of it. And we do that on both sides. And we continue that process until we get all of the previous scratch marks and dirty spots out of there, and they're replaced by a shiny new surface, which we appear to have. So we've gone through the 400 plate and the 1200 plate on the faces, on the edges, and now we're ready to burnish a hook into this. Now for this next step, I'm going to use the burnisher, much like we did before, and I'm going to press those corners. I'm going to use more pressure this time though, because I actually want to try to pull some material over that edge. And I'm going all the way edge to edge. About a dozen passes or so should do it. Flip it over. Corner 3. And the last one. I can feel that I've pulled a little bit over the edge, so that's good. Here we are at my crude drawing of the edge of a scraper again. What we've just done is we've pushed material from the corner up, and so we've got like this little spike happening. And if we've done it right, that's kind of what it looks like. Now in the next step, we're going to take the burnisher and press this down and try to get these little spikes to come out off to the side. I've got the scraper back in the vise, and again, mine's pretty low, so that really only a half to a third of this scraper is sticking out. Then I can slide right off the end without a whole lot of trouble. If it was much higher, the scraper would flex quite a bit, and the higher it is, the more likely you are to actually run your hand into the side, the edge, or into one of these corners, and that can be fairly nasty. I'm going at this flat. About a dozen or so passes should work just fine. And you might even feel these edges becoming a little bit rough, and that's okay. It'll go from feeling smooth to becoming a little bit rough as you kind of get that hook developed. And if I feel along the edge, yeah, I can feel it's definitely pulled some material over. If we've done this right, then as we have flattened this edge out with the burnisher, we've got these little spikes off to the side now. And what we're going to do in the next and final step is we're going to angle the burnisher just a few degrees this way and then this way. And then what we're going to be doing is pulling that hook over so it goes back just a little bit. And that hook on either side is what is actually going to cut. I'm going to put an angle on it, just a few degrees, like 3 to 5 degrees is what I'm shooting for. Yeah, and I can feel that edge on there much better than the other side. And then I'm going to tilt this back this way. that should do it. And we flip it over and do the same thing to the other side. Flat. Now, slight angle. And an angle the other way. Yep, I can feel that pretty pronounced hook on both sides. Now we're going to see how it cuts. All right, that's it. You should have a nice hook on all four corners. Each hook is going to have its own personality, and you're going to have to play around a little bit with the angle to find where that hook is, but your scraping result should hopefully look something like this, where it's almost a miniature version of a curl that you would see coming off of a well-tuned plane. Is this better than the file version? Yeah, marginally, a little bit. I think it does leave a little cleaner surface on the wood itself. So you can try both and see which one you like better. That's totally up to you. But that is exactly what I want to see. That's about perfect. One last tip before I finish. When your scraper stops cutting well and really all you're getting is dust, go ahead and just put it back in the vise and use your burnisher on it again without going through the filing. That may get you another full round of use out of it. That is how I sharpen and use a card scraper. Thanks for watching. You know the drill. Like, subscribe, and drop a comment in if you can, and we'll see you in the next video.